Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. I feel like walaikum is masculine. Maybe I'm wrong.
It
Shouldn't it be
does.
wa alayki
Wa
salam?
alayki.
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
I don't know. I feel like it's like unisex.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum
Walaikum
assalam.
assalam wa
Yes,
rahmatullah.
share the room around, guys. Let's see if people come in. At least have a little bit of people, and then inshallah we'll seriously start.
Yes, share guys, share the room. Today is gonna be a bad day for anyone who's not at work.
MashaAllah.
No, Hassan. Inshallah, today you'll be convinced.
I was already convinced.
No.
Yeah, you make
Obviously,
him sound like he
today
just
you will have
doubted what
ilmul
this.
yaqeen.
I have Ayn al-Yaqeen, brother.
No. The Quran is, this is a burhan for the Quran is as well. Right?
Okay.
If Quran is denied this, right? If any Quranist denies this, they would have to deny all history.
Everybody share the room, invite pink people, guys. We wanna get started, inshallah.
Allah.
Yeah, we can get started once we have like around 17 people, I think.
Yeah, no problem.
So yes, but I'll pull up a link. So
Yeah.
So,
This is gonna be interesting.
Is there like two Riris? You pinged me and it says go to the room with Riri. Weird.
Oh, maybe.
could be. There could be other EDs as well. Okay. And it's better if we get like a Sunni as well. So if you guys can invite some Sunni, that would be even better.
Yeah, if anybody wants to come on stage, anybody can raise their hand. It's gonna be a discussion, inshallah. All are welcome. Inshallah, we can get started.
Yes.
Salam.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Alaikum
Walaikum
Alaikum assalam.
assalam.
I have some followers, so I'm going to ping them right now.
Inshallah.
And share the room. Share it. Even if you're not Shia, share the room. Be like, look at these Shias trying to prove the 12 Imams. It's okay.
Ha
Just
ha
share it
ha.
and laugh.
Share it with the Quran too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Share specifically with the Quranists. They would love it, inshallah.
Okay. I just pinged all the Quran.
Wallah, if a Quranist denies this, right, then they would have to deny history. There's no other way.
Damn. Let's see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it would be a complete case. Let's just wait for one more person and then we'll start, inshallah. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Let's start, inshallah. Okay, guys, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay. So, if you are not a Shia, and my question is for all of you, you're not a 12er, what would it take you to become a 12er? That's the first question, Like, what would it take you? Like, what evidence should I present that you become a 12er?
Everybody on stage is a Shia.
Right, but if you were not, for example, what evidence would it take you to become a 12er?
Okay. What am I though? Am I like Sunni? What am I?
Yeah, you're a Sunni, for
I
example.
would need to see nas from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and a good chain from one Imam to the other, showing who the Imam is.
Good. I would say that it works like this. Obviously, we are not gonna think that all the Sunni hadiths are sahih, right? Obviously, there are going to be some interpolations in there. But the main point is that if I can tell you that even before, see, there can either be two possibilities, right? Think about it logically. There can either be two possibilities. One, that uh, the Shias, the 12er Shias, they made this concept up, right? Or the other possibility is that they did not make it up and they indeed believed in it, right? These are the only two possibilities. Okay. If the 12ers already believed in, even before Ghaibah, right now we are talking before Ghaibah, right? If before Ghaibah, for example, think about it in this way. For example, the Shias are fake, they are liars, So at the time of Ghaibah, they wouldn't know, before the time of Ghaibah, before the uh, uh, death of Imam Hassan al-Askari, right? They wouldn't know, the Imams are just going to be 12 or Imam is going to stop there, right? They wouldn't know. Do you agree with this or not?
Yeah, they wouldn't know.
Yeah, they for all intents and purposes, it could go on and on in different people, right? So they would definitely not know, right? If they didn't know, then it should not be the case that before Ghaiba there is something which talks explicitly about the 12 Imams, right? Because technically then everything they made about the 12 Imams should be after the Ghaiba, after they realized, oh, we don't have an Imam anymore, so now we have to forge stuff, we have to fake stuff to make this thing believe in, make this thing work somehow, right?
Yes.
So if there is a proof before Ghaiba of the 12, right, then you can say that this belief indeed was already in the Shias, that they are going to be only 12 Aima, right? Or they are
Yeah,
going to be 12
exactly.
Aima.
Exactly.
So it couldn't have been made up then, right?
Y-
So then we will ask this question, that how did this prophecy come true then, right?
Yeah. So
That's
what
the,
you're saying, just so correct me if I'm wrong, Elias. I just want to engage in the conversation since there's nobody here. You're saying that if there's proof of Shias, the followers of the Imams, before the 12th Imam, before Imam Muhammad al-Mahdi, before him, that there was going to be 12.
yes, before him, that they believed in 12.
This is either going to be like the luck of all luck to believe in that, or there was already a belief in that time that there was going to be 12.
Yeah, and scientific method, we aren't gonna posit luck as explanation of things, right? That's basic science. You don't say, well, it just happened out of random, So if it did happen, then there has to be an explanation for it. No?
Yeah,
Doesn't that?
definitely there has to be a
Yep.
reason why.
Right? And now starting from the earliest sources, right? Okay, so now someone could say, well, the Sunni sources, they are fabricated, like somebody made them up. This doesn't show the Shias actually believed it, right? But let's start from the earliest Sunni source as well, right? This is a source which is meant, and it is a very interesting point, which, you would have to understand. Okay, my question is for you this. If you are just a neutral observer, right? You are living in an environment, right? And in that environment, a specific group is followed, right? And ahadith, and we know objectively, ahadith, scripture, all the theological support is created in support of these people, right? So in such an environment, would you expect people to have reports that actually supported these people and then change these reports to not support these people?
Yeah, definitely. It matters. The political environment, etc., all matters because, fabrications can happen if it doesn't support.
Yeah. But yes, but would those fabrications be in support of the whole structure or against the whole structure?
Against. Oh wait, when
No,
you're saying
in
the
support of the
structure, yeah,
political,
the political structure.
the
Yeah,
political
then
structure.
it would be for it.
Yeah, of course. Because if you have a whole structure and you have the whole political system and whatever, and people are getting paid to forge sources in a particular way, obviously the sources that are being forged, they are going to be in support of that structure, not against it. Right? So, given that, this is the first source that we are gonna go to. And this is in where? This is in the earliest Sunni source that we have, which is Kitab of Musannaf ibn Abi Shayba, right? So Musannaf ibn Abi Shayba is one of the earliest sources, and it was it's written at around 170, 160, 70, something around that time. That's what we know. That Musannaf ibn Shayba is written around that time. Now, when you read Musannaf ibn Shayba and you open this page, what does it say? It says, and this is from Abu Osama, Hisham, then Muhammad bin Sirin, then Uqba, then Awsad Sadusi, then Abdullah bin Umar, that in this ummah there would be 12 caliphs, right? Interestingly, what it says after that is very interesting. It says Abu Bakr, Umar, right? Osman, and it doesn't continue after that, so it doesn't say Ali, right? The interesting thing is that this riwayah, right, as it comes here right now, that in this ummah there would be 12 caliphs, this part, and after this naming Abu Bakr, Umar, and Usman. The first part is mentioned in other books as well, right? The first part is mentioned in Bukhari, the first part is mentioned in Muslim as well, right? But the second part, which is Usman, Abu Bakr, Umar, and Usman, this is not mentioned, right? So my question is, you have to think logically. This is a historical argument. So my question is this: if Prophet indeed said Abu Bakr, Umar, and Usman, right? And the whole structure, the whole political structure, as we know, the Umayyad dynasty, right, and the caliphate, all of them have an incentive to actually make up ahadith or actually to quote those ahadiths that are in support of their narrative. Would they miss such an important detail?
No, they wouldn't. They would definitely want to put it.
Yes, absolutely. Obviously, they would put it. Why wouldn't they put it? That's providing absolute legitimacy to their view, right? So why then is this line missing in the books to come in Bukhari and Muslim and Abu Dawud? Let us look at an example from, for example, uh, Bukhari. Let's see if we can get an example from uh, Bukhari, because when we will look at Bukhari, we'll see that this hadith is not there in Bukhari.
Do you want me to find it while you continue?
Uh, yeah, actually, I have it in here. Yeah, let me just put it up.
I got the one from Muslim if you want.
Yeah. Oh, if you put it with the, okay, put it up, because I have only the Arabic text. Great. So this is the one mentioned in Muslim, and there's a similar one mentioned in Bukhari as well, right? And here it becomes like uh, you know Islam will continue to try to be triumphant until they have been 12 caliphs. Then the Prophet said something which I could not understand. I asked my father, what did he say? He said that all of them will be from Quraysh, right? So why is this important detail that was mentioned in Musannaf ibn Abi Shayba, why is this missing in, bro, see, and keep this in mind. If you're a Quranist, whatever you are, this argument is not contingent upon anyone even fabricating, right? Bukhari, for all intents and purposes, could be a fabricator right now, right? The argument is not contingent upon that. So stop saying like Bukhari is the biggest fabricator or things like that. We already agree with you, right? So why is this detail missing in Bukhari and Muslim and in other later works? The only rational explanation for this is this, that what Ibn Shayba is actually doing is forging, right? He just literally, someone, Ibn Shayba or someone even earlier, right, literally forges the next part, right? And this part does not reach Bukhari and Muslim. So that's why they don't do the same kind of forgery. Does that make sense, Hassan?
Yeah, definitely. Now, a question will come, if you don't mind me asking a question about this. So, when it comes to the book of Ibn Abi Shayba, that hadith, does it have a sanad?
Yes, I posted it. It does have a sanad.
And is the sanad correct?
The sanad is muttasil.
And what does that mean?
It is connected. Now, from Sunni standards, they could weaken some narrator in it, right? That's absolutely fine for the argument that we are making, right? Because the argument is not contingent upon there being a liar in there or not, right? What I am saying is that had the actual report actually included the names of Abu Bakr, Umar, and others, right? It would then Bukhari and Muslim would have also mentioned these names, right? Because they actually have an incentive to mention these names. So why wouldn't they? The only reason they wouldn't is because the part in Musannaf ibn Abi Shayba is a forgery, it's a later edition, it's an interpolation, and there's a common source which Bukhari, Muslim, and Ibn Abi Shayba, all of them took from. And that common source was actually just this phrase that it could be more than this, but it was definitely this phrase that in my ummah there are going to be 12 caliphs. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No, if it doesn't, then you can
No, for me it makes
pose
sense.
some counter question.
No, so far it's good. Now, obviously,
Yeah.
but I'm biased, so maybe maybe Wahda can ask a question. He's not biased like me. Assalamu alaikum wa
Hey, assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. No, I'm glad that we're talking about this because very good hadith, Ilyas. I definitely continue. I had a run-in with Yaqub in a room. Yaqub came to my room actually, and he asked me about Sunni versus Shia. Hassan was there. And so he was. There's a hadith that I do have a question about for you, Ilyas, but I don't want to interrupt. Well, I can wait.
No, what is that hadith about?
All right, so the hadith it's in Bukhari, and it says that
Is it the one about Imam Ali and Abbas?
yes, that's the one.
Let me
So
bring it. It's 4447. Let me bring.
yep, that's the one. And so he says that this is because this is after Ghadir. The implications of it are that he should have known that if Mawla meant that he is going to lead the Ummah, that he should have at that point said that there's no need to ask the Prophet because XYZ, right? So I was just wondering what would the Shia response be to Imam Ali saying this in the proximity of the demise of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Just out of curiosity, yeah.
Yeah, they would have to prove the historicity of this.
You know, there's a big issue with this, Ilyas, right? And it was brought up. This is showing that Imam Ali didn't understand how a leader is chosen. He didn't. There was no. Listen, bro, Wahdad, you got to understand what's going on. When the Prophet died, I just want to answer this real quick. When the Prophet died, you ask Sunnis, why didn't Abu Bakr and Umar go to the funeral of the Prophet? Their answer is always because they knew the importance of picking a Khalifa, and if they didn't pick one, the whole Ummah would fall apart. This is always the answer they give us. Now, the problem with that is, if they knew it was this important, Imam Ali didn't know how a leader is chosen. 124,000 companions, or whatever they say, 120,000 companions, all of them, did not know or did not even ask the Prophet once, what do we do after? How do we pick a leader? Not one. Not one decided to go and tell them, hey, what are we going to do? Even if the Prophet told them, okay, do this or do that or figure it out on your own. Nobody asked. It makes no sense, bro. I hope that answered it a little bit.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that makes sense. Number one, to question the historicity of it. Maybe there's a bias. I mean, I don't know if there's a way to substantiate that with I mean, certainly the matan, but just I would be curious in terms of what Shia might think about the sanad. And so there was that question. And then there was there were some general questions, right? So after the Prophet ﷺ passed away, the Ahlul Bayt were with the body, and they had their shura or whatever, right? And so a couple of questions, right? Number one, was there a constituency for Imam Ali to be the Khalifa at the time of the death of the Prophet? Now, Muhammad Rafid said that there was a number of, and I think At-Tabari, there's a list of a number of companions that did not give bay'ah, right, to Abu Bakr. But just out of curiosity, was there a party of Ali from the very outset, like from the very, very beginning, in terms of who they wanted to be the Khalifa? So I guess we could start there, just out of curiosity.
Yes, there was. Rather, some even say like the Medinan candidate that went, Abdurrahman bin Auf, no, sorry, Abdurrahman bin Auf, Saad ibn Ubada, sorry, Saad ibn Ubada. He also wanted actually Imam Ali to become the caliph, right? So that's the thing. Well, it's kind of it is related to our topic, but this is kind of away from our topic, right? Because our topic right now is the 12 Imams basically.
Gotcha. Yeah, please
Yeah,
continue. Please continue.
yeah. So just to recap, there's a source. You have the earliest Sunni book, right? And this is a historical argument, right? This is a historical argument. So any Quranist, if you understand logic, if you're a Quranist, whatever you are, it shouldn't affect you, because the argument is not contingent upon the veracity of the sources. It's not saying that also the sources are all good and there's no fabrication in there. Rather, it's actually based on the fact that the sources are going to be biased and there are going to be fabrications in them, right? So you have the earliest Sunni source. The earliest Sunni source is Musannaf ibn Abi Shayba. Musannaf ibn Abi Shayba mentions that there are going to be 12 caliphs after the Prophet. The Prophet says this, and those are going to be Abu Bakr, Umar, and Uthman, and like the series will continue. This is Musannaf ibn Abi Shayba. This is the earliest source. Now, if these words actually represented the words of the Prophet, then and given that the whole structure of Sunni Hadith compilation is in support of Abu Bakr, Umar, Usman, Muawiyah, all these people, then we would expect that these sentences are actually represented in the later Sunni sources as well, such as Bukhari and Muslim, right? But they're not represented in those sources, right? This shows that even after having a positive incentive to include these sentences, Bukhari and Muslim do not add these sentences. And given that they do not add these sentences, the only rational explanation for this is that what Ibn Shayba did, or somebody in the line of Ibn Shayba, what he did was a forgery, was an addition, was an interpolation. And what Bukhari and Muslim are narrating, and when they say that there are going to be 12 caliphs, right? Both Bukhari, Muslim, and Ibn Shayba, all of them are getting from a common source, which actually did say, or which actually did represent that there are going to be 12 caliphs, right? And that common source, obviously, because Ibn Shayba is getting it, that common source has to be before 150 Hijri, right? That common source has to be from the earliest periods of the Islam, that there were people who believed that there are going to be 12 caliphs. Now we have this, right? This lends our argument some support. But what is more important is that did the early Shias, because there are only two possibilities, either the Shias, the Twelvers, they forge their belief in 12 Imams, right? Or either they do not forge their beliefs in the 12 Imams, and they actually, even before, prior to the minor occultation, they did believe in the 12 Imams. These are the only two possibilities. There's no third possibility that you can make up here. So, let us now go further and see what we can say about them, what we can say about the Shia Imams. So,
Ilyas, can
yeah.
you pin up the Hadith of Ibn Abi Shayba again?
Yeah, 1 minute. Why do you want it to be pinned
I
though?
want to read it.
Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah, here it is.
Thank you. Continue. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, no, read it, because I'm going to pin another one.
I saved it. I'm on my computer. You're good. You can change it.
Oh, okay. So now we go to another source. Right. This source is called Muqtazib al-Athar. Sorry, no, it changed. What? Okay. Muqtazib al-Athar, Ahmad bin Ayyash al-Juhri. Right? Ahmad bin Ayyash is living in 400 Hijri. So he's after the Ghaibah. But look, what does he say? He presents a hadith, right? And in that hadith, if you read that hadith, like it says, Ya Muhammad, law anna abda min ibadi abdani hatta yanqati'u an-nafs summa laqini jahidan li walayatihim adkhaltuhu nara summa qala Ya Muhammad atuhibbu an tarahum qulta na'am tuqaddimu imamak fataqaddamta imami fa idha, and then it names Ali bin Abi Talib wal Hasan wal Hussein wa Ali bin Hussein wa Muhammad bin Ali wa Ali bin Muhammad wal Hasan bin Ali wa Hujjatul Qaim ka'annahu kawkabun durriyi fi wastihim faqultu ya Rabb man haula فقال هؤلاء الأئمة وهذا القائم يحل حلالي ويحر حرامي وينتقم يا محمد من أعدائي يا محمد أحبه وأحب من يحبه. So this is a hadith which mentions the 12 Imams, right?
Can you pin that up?
Yeah, it's pinned up.
No, you got the other one. You got the Kitab.
Oh,
Kitab.
so weird. No, for me it shows Muqtasibul Asar. It's weird. I think it's a
Okay,
glitch.
send it in the back channel and I'll edit it.
No, I'll put it once again
There
and
you
then
go.
see
It
if it
fixed.
works.
Thank you.
It fixed?
Yeah. Now you're good.
Yeah. So this is from Muqtasibul Asar. What does Ahmad bin Ayyash al-Juhri says? That وقد كنت قبل كتبي هذا الحديث عن ثواب الموصلي رأيته في نسخة وكي بن جراح, right? التي كانت عند أبي بكر بن محمد بن عبد الله بن عتاب, right? So what is he saying? He's saying that even before I wrote this hadith in this book, right now, this hadith which I'm copying in this book, which I'm presenting in this book, this hadith was present in the nuskha, in the manuscript of Waki bin Jarrah, right? Waki bin Jarrah is a Taba Tabi'i. He dies in 197, 198, right? Do you
Yeah.
understand the
Yes.
significance of this?
Yes.
Waki bin Jarrah dies in 198. His manuscript, his book, his copy, his written word had the same words mentioning Imam Hassan al-Askari, Imam Zainul Abidin, Imam Musa al-Qadim. Right? They weren't even born at that time when Waki died. Right? So what do you think about that?
You want me to think like a Sunni?
Yeah, you can think like a Sunni as well. They're, challenge.
Okay. So this book right here that he's quoting from the other book, when was this written?
This was written after the Ghaibah.
Okay.
Right?
So
but it is like a...
How do you know that he didn't forge, that he read it in that book? Is there any proof?
Okay.
That's the question. Because he
can
have biasness, right?
Yeah, but if you're going to question all the copies, right, then you can question all the copies. But that's a good question. I agree with that. That's why it's not a main evidence in our work. It's a substantiating evidence, right? Due to the same reason, because some Sunni could bring up this shubha. But a rational person, they would think about it. They would say that could it be the case or not? That's why we would bring them the next source that we are bringing, which would corroborate with this one, and then from that we would know that probably even this person was not lying, right? And there's another reason that if he was lying, why would he just specifically mention Waqi bin Jarrah? Why would he make up a whole story about it, right, with specific details? Why wouldn't just he say, why wouldn't he just literally just forge it, right? Okay, let's go to this one. See, because a rational person would think from all these perspectives, right? But let's go there. So this is Mukhtasar Asbatul Raja, right? From Fadl bin Shazan An-Nisaburi. Fadl bin Shazan dies before Imam Jafar. Sorry, before Imam Hassan al-Askari.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
So he's writing. He's a sahib. He's a friend of. He's a ally of Imam Hassan al-Askari. And he's writing at the time of Imam Hassan al-Askari, right? So it couldn't be that he started writing this after that, right? So if you read this work, right, what does it say? That قال أنت يا علي أولهم ثم ابني هذا, and it keeps on going. It says Al-Husayn, then it says Al-Hasan ala Ra's al-Hasan ala Ra's al-Husayn ala ibnihi Zayn al-Abidin, so Summa ibnahu Muhammad al-Baqir, and after that Summa ibnahu Ja'far al-Sadiq, Summa ibnahu Musa al-Kadhim, Summa ibnahu Ali al-Rida, Summa ibnahu Muhammad al-Taqi, Summa ibnahu Ali al-Naqi, Summa ibnahu Hasan al-Zaki, Summa ibnahu Hujjat al-Qa'im alayhi salam.
So there was the idea, even before Imam Hassan al-Askari, there was the idea of 12.
Yeah, no. Not only the idea of 12, right? You have to keep that in mind. The idea of 12 we have already shown. That we have shown from Musannaf ibn Shaybah, that we have shown from Bukhari, from Muslim, right? This is the name of 12 Aimma, right? And Fadl bin Shazan is mentioning it. Fadl ibn Shazan dies before Imam Hassan al-Askari, right? So how does Fazl know that? Okay, let's just say, okay, Fazl is a forger as well. Fazl is an absolute liar, right? Fazl bin Shazan here is an absolute liar.
He made up this
Okay,
hadith.
he made up this hadith, no problem. Even if Fadl bin Shazan made up this hadith, how did Fazl know that after Imam Hassan al-Askari, there is going to be Hujjah al-Qa'im?
Okay, can I answer that?
Yes.
Remember, I'm from the Mukhalifin, so I'm just trying to think out loud. So unless somebody wants to come up here and ask questions, you guys are welcome, inshallah. So okay, this guy died before Imam Hassan al-Askari alayhi salam, and we know Imam Hassan al-Askari is the 11th Imam, correct?
Yes.
So understanding that everybody at that time had an understanding that there was going to be 12 Khalifas. That's what it seems like, because it's all over the place, right?
Not necessarily. Not everyone had an understanding that there are going to be 12.
But there
Khalifas.
was this understanding, nevertheless. Not everyone.
No, there was this hadith. There was this hadith that there are going to be 12. This is very interesting.
Yeah.
Actually,
but most importantly, is this guy a Shia?
This guy is a Shia of Imam Ali.
Okay.
Yes.
So now that he's a Shia of Imam Hassan al-Askari, and he was the Shia of Imam Ali al-Hadi alayhi salam, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. They told him, right? They told him that we're Imams, and he believed in their Imama. So one, we understand that there was this belief that there was divinely appointed leaders, the Imams, because of this hadith. We know this, that the Shias really did believe, at the very least, that there was 12. Right?
No. Actually, not all Shias believe that. That's the thing.
I'm talking
because we have evidence.
But
no,
if you were a
we have
Shia,
evidence.
If you were a Shia of Imam Ali al-Hadi and Imam Hassan al-Askari, for sure you believe that there was 12.
No, not necessarily. That's the thing, because we have. That's the thing. So, because what I am positing is that there were ahadith, but not all Shias. Not all Shias knew that there are going to be 12, right? And I'll give the proof for that as well. But carry on.
So that the fact that he was alive during the time of Imam Hassan al-Askari, right? He just took a guess. This is just me just talking. I don't believe this. He took a guess. No, he took a guess on the last one. That's possible. He's like, all right, the last one after Imam Hassan al-Askari is going to be the Mahdi, because that's number 12.
Yeah, and the Imam is going to end. So
correct.
What incentive would he have to forge when he literally has his Imam alive in front of him?
The Imam told him.
Okay. Let's see.
Go ahead.
Let's go to our other evidence. Okay. I'll answer this shubha as well. No problem.
But this can be a shubha, right?
Today,
they're gonna say, well, there's only one after. It wasn't that early.
At the end, al-ihtimal, right? It does not entail the batal of the istidlal. The possibility, because in any induction, there is always going to remain possibility.
Correct.
Right? Always.
But we want as much
literally
proof,
always.
We want as much proof as possible.
Yes.
Because this guy.
So that is why we would.
Was there at least? Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Was there at least a belief? Was there at least a belief of some Imami Shias of that time, during the time of Imam Ali al-Hadi and Hassan al-Askari, that believed that there was 12 Imams, and they believed in the Imam of Imam Ali al-Hadi, Hassan al-Askari alayhi salam?
Yeah, but why would they believe in 12 then?
Because this is a hadith that came from the Prophet, that there was 12 Khalifas.
Yeah, but why would they posit that there are 12 Imams? Then that would essentially entail like an end to their imama, right? Why would they say that? Wouldn't they be like worried, like what's going to happen after that? Isn't it weird?
I mean, the only thing I can think of right now is that Imams told them that there will be 12, and who they are.
Yeah. Okay, if that's that, then that's just entails the truth of it.
Yeah. Then they're just Shias, you know what I mean? Then people should just believe in Shias.
Yeah, if the Imams told them and it actually did happen, then khalas, that's exactly what I'm saying, But right now we are thinking that it's a forgery, right? It does not reality. then how is Fazl bin Shahzan making things up? Right? Now let us go to the next hadith. This is going to be fun for you guys, inshallah. This is, so we have read Fadl bin Shahzan, right? Oh, sorry. Let me change the privacy for this so everyone can see.
You know, all this stuff is good because I remember Farid, he was making the claim that before Kulaini there was no hadith of the 12 Imams.
Yeah. This is, mashallah, our friend Qadi Nu'man Ismaili, right? Qadi Nu'man Ismaili, may Allah bless his soul, very prolific writer of Ismailis, right? Living at a place different than Kulaini, different than Sudur, different than Sheikh Safar, right? Look at what he's, and obviously he has an incentive for interpolation, right? Because now he knows his imama, what he thinks is imama is obviously continuing forward, right? There's no doubt about that. So he has an absolute, if he has some incentive, right? It is in support of there being more than 12.
More than 12, exactly. Because
Right?
at that time, when he was alive, it was past Imam Mahdi
Yes.
for us.
Yes.
So
yes,
he would have
yes.
the belief that there was more than 12 at that time.
Yeah, he would have an incentive to believe there are more than 12.
Correct.
Right? So what does he say? He mentions the same hadith that لن تهلك هذه الأمة حتى يليها 12 خليفة كلهم من أهل النبي. And then he calls it, what does he call it? What is his faida from it? Immatu Isna Ashar. Imma or Isna Ashar, they are 12. Right? This is Qadi Noman. This is Ismaili.
So even though there's not the names there, but the same hadith about there being 12, and this one's even from the family of the Prophet.
Yeah. This is about the family of the Prophet.
Correct. And this guy
Right?
has an incentive. If he obviously,
To not say
I'm not
12.
saying he's a liar,
Yes,
by the way. I'm just saying he has. If there's a incentive, the fact that he's Ismaili, he would have to say that he would most likely forge it to say more.
Yes. He would try to, he has no incentive to
Say there's 12.
say there's 12. He has no incentive for that. So why would he say that there are 12? Right? That should be kept in mind. Then you go to this source, right? This source, and let me show you this one as well. Both these sources, these are before Ghaibah, right? Let me show you this. Muhammad bin Sinan. Yes. So look at this one. This is from the works of Muhammad bin Sinan, right? Muhammad bin Sinan dies around 50-60 years before Imam Hassan al-Askari, right? And I think he that's when he dies. So he's a very early figure, right? Actually, he was a student of Mufaddal bin Umar, right? Muhammad bin Sinan is a student of Mufaddal bin Umar. Mufaddal ibn Umar was a sahib of Imam Ja'far and Imam Baqir alayhi salam. Right? So Muhammad ibn Sinan dies before that. What does he mention? That Inna Allah Azza wa Jal khalaqa min tasbihi wa tahlilihi isna ashar hijaban. Right? That Allah created, right, from his tasbih and from his glorification, Allah created 12 hijabs. Right? So the number 12 is mentioned in the work of Muhammad bin Sinan as well. And I'll show you another source, which is also before the time, and which definitely is before the time of the Imams, and is affected by, or is attributed to Muhammad bin Sinan. Let me show you that. But if you have any questions, till then, ask the questions as well, so I can answer.
So Muhammad bin Sinan, you're saying he was alive during the time around of Imam Musa al-Qadhim time, like 7th, 8th Imam, that time?
Yes. Let me show you another source. Right now, these are just substantiating sources, like I'll show you other ones as well, the actual ones, which we'll ask about Farid, because Farid keeps on saying that we don't have any sources. This is from Kitab al-Usus. Kitab al-Usus, time of Imam Musa al-Kazim. Before like anything, when God created the world, right? He created 12 people, right? And these 12 people are holy people, right? This is from Kitab al-Usus. So this theme of 12 is mentioned, is mentioned throughout these works, and these are the works of these are the works of Ghulat, basically, right? The ones who are in the Shias, they are known as Ghulat, and there are other writings as well. We have another book which is called Kitab of Kitab. That work also mentions the theme of the 12. Then there are going to be 12. There are going to be 12 vicegerents of God, and they're going to be present in this world. Now let us go towards, these are all, this is all substantiating evidence, right? Let us now go towards Basairud Darajat, right? And Basairud Darajat is written at what time? The Basairud Darajat is written at the time of Imam, nearly. So even in Basairud Darajat, yes, this is here. Okay, so this is Basairud Darajat, right? And he also was living, Sheikh Safar al-Qummi, he was living at the time of Imam Hassan al-Askari, right? So it's either that he is taking a guess, right, or he's coming from previous sources, right? And what does he say? That he says basically this, that سمعت أبا عبد الله يقول نحن 12 محدثا, right? That's one. That there are, that what are we? We are 12 muhaddath. Muhaddath, muhaddath is basically someone who gets ilham, right? Who gets you can say who gets it's not wahi, but it's ilham. Then go to the next page. حدثنا علي بن حسان عن موسى عن بن بكر عن حمران بن عن أبي جعفر قال رسول الله من أهل بيتي إثنا عشر محدثا. From my Ahl Bayt there are إثنا عشر, there are 12 محدث. يقول إثنا عشر أئمة من آل محمد كلهم محدثا من ولد رسول الله وولد علي فرسول الله وعلي هم الولدان فقال, and you know it goes ahead. So this idea of there being that Aimma being 12, right? This is mentioned in Shia sources. This is mentioned in Sunni sources. This is mentioned even in Ismaili sources, and then they can do ta'wil of it, and this is mentioned in Ghulat sources. So all the early sources of Islam, they clearly mention that there are going to be 12 Aimma.
Question, Elias. Kitab al-Usus, where the Ghulat wrote about 12 as well. When was that book written?
It's attributed to Imam Musa al-Qadim. But around that time. Around that time, yes.
Imam Musa al-Qadim. Okay. So that's the 7th Imam. So he also talked about 12. Okay.
So from this, it's proven that there are going to be 12 Imams. Or everyone was forging, everyone was making this stuff up, and then this stuff actually happened.
That's what I was gonna say. Okay, but all the sources are Shia or like Ghulat, so they're all in cahoots. They're all saying 12 Imams. The Sunnis don't care.
No, even the Sunnis have it. In Muslim, he showed that first. He had Musannaf Ibn Abi Shayba, Sahih Muslim, Bukhari. It's in much more books as well. So he was showing that it's also in those books as well.
So either these people are, all of them are like creating future, and future did actually happen. MashaAllah, which is a karamat, which is a mu'jiza, or these reports are actually true. Right? So what is your choice gonna be? It's very simple. So when are you gonna accept the truth?
Alright, that's pretty strong evidence. I'll give you that.
No, I want someone to come and question it, bro.
I've been trying to question it, but I'm biased, so to me it's definitely evidence. But I've been trying to question it and not be biased, so thank you.
Yeah. So if someone has any questions, anything, even Quran is, they should believe this, or they should try to explain it to us. How did this happen then? Right? Because they keep saying history, this and that. So to prove how is Sheikh Safar writing about 12, and yeah, the 12 actually happened. MashaAllah. And you have to keep this in mind. When Sheikh Safar is writing this, obviously he is a scholar, and he is literally mentioning that Qaim is going to be in Ghaibah and this, and so he knows the Qaim is going to be in Ghaibah.
So just to recap, Elias, what you showed, Musannaf ibn Abi Shayba, which is a book before the 12. This is one of the earliest books before there was even our 12 Imams. Before Imam Mahdi was born, for example, it wrote about 12 Imams as well, 12 Khalifas, 12 Imams, etc. We've seen Muslim and Bukhari, which was, I believe, Bukhari was after, right?
No, at the time of Ghaibah.
Around the time. But they also wrote this hadith, which they would have an incentive to forge it.
Yes.
The 12 Imams, because the Shias of that time. So 12 Imams in the Sunni books. Then you showed in the Ismaili brothers' books, where this was after, of course, but he also wrote this hadith of 12 Imams when he would definitely have an incentive to forge it. Then you showed from the kitab of the Ghulat, who are Ghulat before Imam Mahdi, around the time of the 7th Imam, writing about 12 Imams as well. Then you showed the Shia sources, which also shows that they believed in 12 Imams before Imam Mahdi as well.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
What you try to do is grab all the sources, look at it collectively, and you notice that all of them are talking about a certain 12 Imams, even if the names aren't written down.
Yes.
Okay, I saved all those links, by the way. Thank you.
Ghulat is saying there's no book of the Ghulat. MashaAllah.
It's called Kitab al-Usus Ghulat.
Come in back channel, I'll send you 12 books of the Ghulat. More than two, more around like more than 5,000 pages, I think.
But Elias, the argument could be that there was this narrative before the 12, or before the 12 Imams were established, and there was then a conspiracy to construct history in a way to match the narrative.
Okay, so the conspiracy came after that. Why did not the conspiracy not happen at 13 or 11? Why, if you're saying it's only because of contingent circumstances, then why is this conspiracy only happening at 12? Well, bro, that's a very convenient way,
But
right?
that's what you would do, right?
If it is just
Let's say, for example, Hassan says there will be 12 house.
you're cutting off,
To
Matthew.
make sure that it happens. So remove all records of it.
Sorry, what?
Hassan says...
You're cutting off, Matthew.
I'm sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, so Hassan tells us in this room that there will be 11 or there will be 12 clubhouse rooms in the next 10 days. The narrative now is out there, and to make sure that Hassan's narrative is true, we make sure that after 12 clubhouse rooms, no further clubhouse rooms gets recorded. It doesn't prove the veracity of what he's predicting. We just remove all records of other clubhouse rooms so that it sticks to 12.
Okay, so why didn't the others stick to 12? They must have known the narrative as well. So you're saying, MashaAllah, Shias are so smart, perfect in their planning, right? MashaAllah, if that's the case, then if the followers are like that, I would want to follow those Imams.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously said these are substantive. This is line of argumentation, and I'm just kind of putting that argument out there. That essentially you construct history to fit the narrative.
Yeah, then Prophet could have constructed the same history to fit the narrative. Contingent proofs are always going to be inductive, right?
Yes.
So, but the thing is that how did they make it to fit the narrative, right? You have contingent circumstances that they are going to, and the other thing is that this belief is not widely known, right? We have proof that early Shias did not widely hold the belief that they are going to be 12, right? And what's the reason for that? Because we have two early works, right? We have two early works, and that itself is a kind of a proof. We have two other early works of Saad al-Ashari al-Qummi and Sheikh Nobakti, and both of them do not mention 12 Imams, right? Why? Because maybe they didn't even know the Hadith, for example. Right? Sheikh Safar knew it, they didn't knew it. So it can't even be the case, because for it to be a mass level forgery, we would at least expect all the people to know about that belief at the first place, right? It can't be that if it is written in one page, or it is transferred from few people and they keep it on their own, and then it becomes publicized, such that other people even in their community don't know this, that it became a mass level forgery. That's very unlikely. Because if no, go ahead.
So would just be possible, but obviously highly unlikely to be successful.
Yeah, Prophet being a liar, then you can say even that's possible. At the end, you can even say, well, science, gravity not existing, is it possible, right? It's all an illusion. Yeah, sure, ihtimal, as we say, possibility, ihtimal can be created for any contingent evidence, right? But what a rational person does is that they follow that evidence which has the highest probability. That's what a rational person does.
Ahsant. I was also going to say that, but it falls conspiracy. So there were multiple reports of multiple removed narrative, but that would still fall under the category of conspiracy.
Sorry, what? You cut off in between.
Sorry, I was just going to say that one argument could be that there were multiple narratives of the number of Imams. So there were reports of 13, 15, 29, 7, and the Shias the 12 has basically removed all of those reports from history and just kept the 12. But I'm just saying that would still fall in the category of conspiracy.
Yes, of course. And the same are being mentioned by other sources as well, right?
Yes.
So, and that's the thing, and those sources are independent of the Shias. Those sources are not controlled by or created by or narrated by 12 Shias, right? And all of them have this one certain theme, and this is just a historical argument. Obviously, when we add like the philosophical, like a philosophical argumentation into this, then all you have to do is to show probability, which is higher than all other particular frameworks, right? Because at this point, then you would have particular frameworks. You could have, Shia Islam, you have Sunni Islam, and Shia Islam. You can have particular sects. All you need to do is that you need to have the one that you are believing in needs to have the highest probability, right? For example, for Islam, if you are arguing for Islam, then the Islam that you're believing in it needs to have the highest probability than all the other contenders, right? And then once you enter Islam, then you have to go towards that place which has the highest probability from all those. Then once you have entered that place, then you have to go into those which has the highest probability from that one, right? So even individual case does not have to need to have the highest probability or a probability more than 50 or something. All it needs is that its probability, its case needs to be stronger comparatively than all other cases. That is going to be the basis of the belief.
So kind of like Occam's razor, basically.
Yes, kind of like that. Yes. You go for the best explanation, basically.
Yeah, which works in history.
Yeah, of course it does. So and the fact that Shias also believe in Ghaibah, yeah, we know this. They believed in Ghaibah and Raja before the Ghaibah of the 12 Imam as well. And even this belief that the Qa'im is going to be in Ghaibah. This is also, we know that the Shias held this belief as well. That the Qa'im is so you have this belief that the Qa'im is going to be in Ghaibah. You have this belief that the Qa'im is going to be the 12th one, right? So, and all of this is before the Imam.
But hold on, bro. Are the Sunnis holding the same beliefs? Are they believing in an Imam Mahdi Ashraf Rajul? Are they believing in the Ghaibah?
No, they don't
believing
believe. They don't believe in Ghaibah.
I mean, technically, they believe not in the Ghaibah of the Imam, but in the Ghaibah of Divine Mercy.
Yeah. No, whatever. What I am saying is that this is historical. This is not, I'm talking about Sunnis right now. But the fact that Shias before this, they have these narrations, they had these textual sources that mentioned, not the fact that all Shias are actually going to believe in this, that's not necessary. But there are textual sources or oral sources which said that the Qa'im is going to be in Ghaibah, right? And the Qa'im is going to be the 12th one. And the fact that this belief was not widely held, right? This belief itself was not widely held. That itself is a proof that it could not have been a mass level forgery.
Okay, so you're trying to narrow it down to who has the prophecies that are coming true, and it looks like it's the Shias?
Yes.
I suppose one argument against that would be it wouldn't need to be believed by the mass population. It would only need to be believed by those who had power over the historical narrative. So basically scribes and scholars.
But then they have the power over the future then, because it's happening.
Yeah. What I'm saying, for a conspiracy to happen, it doesn't need the collective effort of all the people. It just needs the collective effort of a small number of people.
But the
Yeah,
conspiracy
but
is
then the
coming true.
heresiograpers, but then the heresiograpers would mention it that they're normal people don't believe this.
Ahsant.
See, so that's what happens. And prior to Ghaibah, why would they hold this belief at the time of Imam Jafar, for example, that the Qaim is going to be in Ghaibah? What incentive do they have to say that? What incentive is there to say that the Qaim is going to be in Ghaibah? No incentive. There's no incentive to say.
I think Musa just got here and said, "Have I missed a lot? What is the undeniable proof? Is it a hadith?"
Yeah, that's why I explained what the
Oh,
proof
I see.
was. Yeah, earlier.
Yeah,
Shall I go for one incentive, Ilyas?
yeah.
Khums money.
All this comes later. Right now we are just talking about the fact all these things can come on, and they can forge this, that, whatever. Right now we are talking about the mention that they are going to be 12, right? That is prior to the fact. The mention that the Qaim is going to be in Ghaibah. The mention that the Qaim is going to be the 12th one, right? All this is prior to Ghaibah. All this, they already had these sources prior to Ghaibah. So how are these sources coming true? Right? Okay, if it's a forgery, then why not forge it at 13? Why not forge it at 14? Why not forge it at 15? Why forge it at particularly at 12? Right? And that itself proves, like, even the scholars at the time of Imam Hassan al-Askari, they didn't have as much of an idea what's happening. And if you read the hagiographical works of of the two early works that I mentioned, Saad al-Ashari and Sheikh Nobakhti, both of them, like, they don't mention like a the imama is going to stop there, right, or something. Like, even they don't have a complete idea, right? And that's common, that's fine, because why? Because they themselves, uh, like it's clear that they are not the ones, the early ones, they are not forging something, because they are not saying, oh, it's going to stop at 12 or anything like that. But interesting thing is that before them, in Basair Darajat, it is being mentioned. So that leads us to believe that there were some groups in Shias, very small number of groups, that had these reports, and probably they didn't even understand what these reports are clearly saying. Maybe they either, for example, I give you Matthew, I give you some stuff, I give you some written stuff or oral stuff. You could have that information, but it's possible that you yourself, you have not decoded that information yet, right? So that's the thing. That's the case. That's what's happening at that time.
Ahsant. 12 for another day.
No, I think you should always be a 12.
Inshallah.
No, but I'm interested in some Sunni coming and trying to refute it.
Assalamu alaikum. How are you, everyone?
Wa alaikum assalam.
Fardeen.
So, what's the topic, guys? Undeniable proof of 12 Imams. MashaAllah.
Let's get Hassan to see if he's... Hassan, you made good notes?
Yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm looking up all these books, making sure, no offense, Ilyas, making sure they're all correct and whatnot. So this is really interesting. It's really good stuff. Thank you, Ilyas.
So, what are the proofs for, like, about their imamat, or about them being some supernatural beings? What is it?
All of it, all of it.
About them just existing, 12 Imams.
So
Well,
what we showed is proof of the belief of 12 Khalifas, 12 Imams after the Prophet. throughout not only Shia tradition, Sunni, Ghulat, Ismaili, which are Shia, but they're not 12er Shia, right? And just showing that all the evidence together shows that there was this belief that there will be 12.
Well, I come from a Sunni background, so is it necessary to be a follower of the 12 Imams in order to, succeed in the afterlife?
It depends. Like if you know it and you deny it, well, that's problematic. But if
It's
you don't,
necessary. Yeah, it's necessary to accept the truth when it has been proven to you.
What about people like that have no proof or knowledge about it, like myself?
Yeah, then they are treated according to their knowledge.
So am I still eligible for paradise?
Yes, of course, brother.
But you should do research, inshallah, as long as you're striving
bro, an
for the
atheist
truth.
is eligible for paradise. It just depends on that person.
Yeah.
Now, what if I actually follow the 12 Imams and, give up my beliefs about the caliphate and, start following that Ali Salamullah alayha was meant to be the first caliph.
MashaAllah, you best heaven, Habib.
Yeah, but
you'll be able to fly in the dunya.
Yeah, but could I do? Is that something that will be that will make me Shia?
Bro,
that
you know
will
what?
make you.
That's a good question.
That will make you pretty Shia if you give up the first and second and third Khalifa.
Yeah,
and you say
especially if you give those up, then yeah, because there are some Sufis as well that believe that the 12 Imams are Qutb, for example. Now they don't believe in them like us, like divinely appointed leaders, but they follow the Ahlul Bayt and they believe in 12, etc. There are some. I've talked to a few from Sunnis who are Sufi that do believe in that, but they don't reject the first 2 or 3 Khalifa.
Well, if it was a matter, if it was just that, I would have become Shia today. But the only thing is that I'm staunchly against is that I will never call upon anyone else in my times of needs, but God Almighty Himself. I will not call, even while I'm Sunni, I don't say, Omar help me, or Abu Bakr help me. So that thing I'm very staunchly against. If that, rejecting that also, can I be Shia?
Yes, you can be. But the thing is that why would you want to reject that? Don't you in your normal life, don't you ask people for help?
Yes, but I can ask you for help right now. If you give me, I'm going to ask you for help right now. Okay, hold on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can say, help me, and I'll try to help you.
I just asked you for help. I just asked you, can you do that?
Yeah. But
you haven't. You haven't. I asked you for help.
Ilyas,
you didn't.
1 second, Fardin. 1 second.
One
he
minute.
muted his mic. He's trying to show that you can't hear. So how can you help him? That's what he's trying to show.
Astaghfirullah, are you saying that Rasulullah can't hear us? Astaghfirullah. Who are you sending?
No, 1 minute, man. 1 minute, Hamza. See, the thing is that you can ask. What I'm asking you? Is it haram? Is it wrong that you ask me for help? Whether I heard it or not, is it wrong, or is it right?
Well, it's is it fact? Is it factual? Did you hear me? What I said? I actually asked to be a moderator in your room, but I muted myself. But you didn't listen. Now, whether you're gonna that's a matter of discussion afterwards. Whether you're gonna make me a moderator, but to begin with, you couldn't even hear me with mic.
That's fine.
Without mic.
Yeah. The question is, did you what you did, was it haram or halal? Was it right or wrong?
It's not about haram or halal. I'm not that learned, but one thing is, since you couldn't hear me, certainly there's whether it's Omar that in his grave and Ali, Salamullah alayh, that he's in his grave. Since you couldn't hear me, how can they hear me?
Yeah, because when we say someone says Ya Ali Madad or Ya Muhammad or someone, they are not referring to those people in their graves, right? Like there are hadiths, both in Shia sources and Sunni sources, that what was the first creation? What was the first thing that God created? Like, do you have an idea about that, brother?
Yeah, I think let's get, just tell me what you want to tell me, because we all know what was the first person.
Moderation, but
Nur Muhammad, the haqiqah of Muhammad, the reality of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the light of the Prophet, right? So when they say, and from it everything else is created. So when people say Ya Muhammad or Ya Ali, they are connecting to that light of the Prophet, and that light is the substantiating basis for all the material world. So obviously it can hear it. Not only can it hear it, but it is the substrate. It is the material basis from which everything else is created. Right? It is a tool from which, that's like angels are a tool for creation. The Haqiqat al-Muhammadiyya is also a tool for creation. Right? So and that's what Shias believe. Many Shias believe, and that's what many Sufi Sunnis believe as well. Right? That's why they say, Ya Muhammad, Ya Ali. It's not putting them equal to God, right? Because a tool is never an equal to the one who's using that tool, right? Even right now, if you help me, for example, if I ask you for a glass of water, you give me a glass of water, you are a tool for giving the glass of water. And God is the absolute cause. God is the ontological cause, right? So as long as you have the difference between the tool and the ontological cause, there's no problem in asking the tool as well. We do it all the time. We ask the tools for that thing, even though at the end the ontological cause is God.
It's about capability, actually, whether someone can do it or not. Of course, tools is also there, but it's about capability. Now, in the seerah and the history of Ali Salamullah alayha and Imam Hussein and Hassan Salamullah alayha, we have a lot of instances where messages were exchanged via a messenger, a horseman. If they had the capability of hearing, let me finish, brother. If they had the capability of hearing from from a different city, or why were the messengers used? A horseman was used to by Ali Salamullah alayha, or for him, or for Imam Hussein Salamullah alayha. So why did they use those terms? Why didn't they just Imam Hussein, he could have said, if he wanted a message to, let's say, someone else, he could have said, oh yeah, can you hear me? You're in Medina? Yeah, I'm in Kufa. Yeah, well, I can hear you. I'm Imam Hussein. I can hear from any distance.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Faradin, I am Sunni. I am Sunni, and I say, Ya Sayyidna Umar Madad. And Sayyidina Umar was in Medina and he could speak to his army far away. Have you not heard of this miracle before?
Okay, no, I haven't. Now, I've heard this miracle, though, when Muhammad Sallallahu sent Sahaba to Awais al-Qarni. If Awais al-Qarni was a wali, was he a wali according to Shias as well? And Muhammad Sallallahu was obviously a prophet. Why didn't they exchange word directly? If while Awais al-Qarni was in Yemen, he could have said, yeah, Awais, you know what, salam alaikum, yeah, wa alaikum salam Rasulullah, yeah, I can hear you. Like we're talking today. We don't have those. We always have someone sending someone in the history. It's only after their death that they acquire these supernatural, magical powers.
No.
This is not true. When Sayyidina Umar was alive in Medina, he was talking far away to his army.
Yeah, and anyway, when we say Ya Ali, Ya Muhammad, Ya Hussein, we are not talking about their material bodies. We are talking about the first intellect, the Aqlul Awwal, the reality of the Prophet, the Haqiqatul Muhammadiyya, whose
They didn't have the
manifest.
aql al-awwal while they're in body form. They only develop it when they're in soul form.
No, they have a connection with it when they're in the material world.
But their bodies are limited, bro. They're material
Yeah.
bodies.
Can I
have a question for the
can I
Shias.
just
I have a
one second
question for the Shias.
1 second, Muhammad. You'll have a chance. I just wanna add a couple things. So Fardeen, let's say in this dunya they didn't have the capability. It's also possible when they die, right, that Allah can grant them permission to hear stuff. For example, when we send salam when we pray, right? Prophet Muhammad receives the salam even though he's not right in front of you. And this is proven within your
Yeah, and
books
this,
and our books.
yeah, and
I
this
pinned the
this
hadith.
capability, yeah, and this capability was not with him before,
Correct.
if you want to say that,
Correct.
right? So yeah, that's a good point as well. That they're obviously, I don't believe that,
Actually, you know, you're wrong. I can counter you,
Go ahead.
Hassan.
Go ahead. You
but
can
if
counter.
you
You can
permit me.
counter. Go ahead.
What part was
Yeah.
wrong?
Okay. Okay. Allah says in the Quran, "Salamun ala ibadillah salihin." So He sends His salam to His ibad salihin. Now, there's obviously 1.8 billion Muslims. There's certainly some salihin there, especially, you know, according to you guys, the 12ers. So why can't we, you know, why aren't we replying while we're alive, you know? 1.8 billion Muslims should just constantly say, wa alaikum salam ya Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because you said salam on us, you know, salamun ala ibadillah salihin. Salam to the
I
Salihin
understand.
merchants, servants
I
of Allah.
understand. So Fardeen, are you Sunni? Just so I know who I'm talking to, how to respond.
Well, it depends. I'm Shia as well because I think I'm Shia as well because obviously, if Shia means being part of the group of Imam Ali salamullah alayha, then no doubt about it.
Yes, the ones that rejected the first, second, and third Khalifa, that group.
So you have to reject. So to be, so to hold on, Muhammad brother, hold on. So did Ali salamullah alayha tell us this, that you have to reject? Did he rejected them? Did he had a war against? Did he had a war against Abu Bakr and Umar?
Look, I don't want to go into a different topic.
Yeah. I really don't want to get into
Just
that.
continue with Hassan. I don't want to go into this topic.
Yeah. This topic is boring. Thank you, Hamza.
Yeah, let me finish. It's okay.
I love this.
Yeah. So Fardeen, like, if you want proof from, I need to know what books to use to prove it to you. Now, is it only a Quran that you accept? Because I want to know how to respond.
Well, it's not only the Quran that I accept, but do you accept the Quran?
Yeah.
The words that I just quoted?
Yeah, of course I do.
Well, then what's your answer to that? So if giving wa alaikum assalam is by your definition necessity, then we should all of us be, you know, constantly saying wa alaikum assalam ya Allah, because He said salamun ala ibadillah salihin.
Yeah, so you're misunderstanding that verse. First of all, who told you that you're from the ibadillah salihin? That verse, like, where do you get that?
Well, do we have to have Hassan, like, what do you call it in English? Positive approach in deen, or should we consider ourselves to be kafir, or what is it?
No, you got to understand what the word salihin means and who the ibadillah salihin are.
Okay, so I'm sure Imam Ali salamullah alayha 100% was ibadullah salihin, probably the top range. Did he actually used to say from any of your books where he would answer Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by saying wa alaikum assalam?
Why are we going on this topic? What is this? I already answered the question that we have clear hadiths from Shia and Sunni books that the first thing created is the light of the Prophet, is Haqiqatul Muhammadiyya. Finished. Whenever we ask Haqiqatul Muhammadiyya. And Haqiqatul Muhammadiyya has always existed. And it's the basis of the material world, and everything else is created from it.
Brother, my question was very well, entertained by Brother Hassan. And if you permit me to, because if he himself has said that, you could take over, then I'll speak to you. But I think Hassan was entertaining my questions really decently. So, Hassan, do you have a problem
Fardeen,
talking to me directly?
I have no issue with Allah allowing people to hear. If they hear it, they hear it. What's the issue? I don't get it.
Well, I know you don't have an issue, but is it real, or is it just a dogma, a misunderstanding whether other people can hear? If it's real, can you prove it from Kitabullah?
Yeah, I can. Is that it?
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
What do you want me to prove from Kitabullah?
That people can hear, dead people can hear you, or anyone not even dead that's not in your presence can hear you.
You're the one making the claim that dead people can never hear you, right? You're making that claim.
I've got a question because I'm here to seek guidance, bro.
Fardeen.
I'm here to seek guidance and answer.
ولا تحسبن الذين قتلوا في سبيل الله أمواتا بل أحياء عند ربهم يرزقون.
Wow. Well, and by that sense, the other brother is also Ahya. He is also alive, but while I muted my mic, he couldn't hear me.
Yeah, but you could still ask. That's not a problem.
Yeah, but I asked, but it fell in vain. Because I
answered you.
See what I'm saying? This is this is the reality.
I'm not Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
You're not Haqiqatul Muhammadiyya. You guys keep on saying whatever you want to say. As long as you don't talk about Haqiqatul Muhammadiyya, there's no way you can talk about this. That's what the problem that you guys are facing. I don't know why you guys.
I want to learn, brother. As I said, I want to become Shia.
No, I'm not talking. Fardeen, bro, I'm not talking to you, bro.
Yeah,
I'm talking to him.
We are referring to that, but then he refers to the material body. But that's what we are referring to. We're not referring to the material body.
Yes, exactly,
okay,
precisely.
My second question is, if I could ask Brother Hassan, I just want to ask him because he's the room owner and he's been entertaining me really with a lot of decency. And he makes a lot of sense to me.
Before you ask a question, 1 second. I need to know what you are. I don't know how to answer you. What are you? What's your aqidah?
I'm just telling you that I'm born into a Muslim family.
I need to know your aqidah. I'll tell you my aqidah right now. I am Imami, Ja'fari, Ithna Ashari, Shia Muslim. That's my aqidah. What's your
I was
aqidah?
born into a Sunni family, but I'm still learning. Maybe that's why I'm in this room to, perfect my aqidah.
Let me see this actually. Let me read all your rooms. I need to know what you are since you're doing taqiyya. Okay, so you're Quranist.
No, I
don't know why you are not talking about.
There might be people that see me in your room and say I'm a Shia. That doesn't make sense. Just because I'm in your room.
Yeah, that's fine, bro.
Quranist
That's
room.
fine. Haqiqatul Muhammadiyya exists. I don't know why you keep going to Hassan. The belief in Haqiqatul Muhammadiyya is known through all the hadiths that we have, right? And when we say Ya Ali, Ya Muhammad, we ask Haqiqatul Muhammadiyya. We are not asking their material bodies. I don't know why you're not engaging with me.
Okay, so I was just going to ask my second question.
Let me ask a question also. Do you believe Sayyidina Umar has Haqiqat Muhammadiyya?
No.
Can you prove it?
No. Bro, let me just talk to him. Yes, ask.
Yeah, so my other question was that according to Hassan, Brother Hassan, is Ibrahim alayhi great inside of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala?
Yes.
Yes. Imam Hussein?
Both of them are. Why?
Who's greater?
We don't. لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله.
Oh, Rusul. So you just call them Asghar Rusul and Imam Hussein Rusul.
So what's the problem with that? Where does it say that? Where does Quran say?
Okay, so can so can you say Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Asghar Rasulullah?
Oh, yeah.
Can you say that?
Wa ashhadu anna what?
You just said that la yufarriquna bayna ahadim min rusuli. Yeah, that's talking about
Yeah,
Rasul. So is
yeah.
Imam
So what's
Asghar
where does
Salamullah alayha, was he a Rasul, the 6-month-old baby?
yeah? So where does Quran say that Rasuls have ended?
Fardin, I fuck
No,
your
this
wife.
is incorrect.
Fardin.
This is incorrect. Elias, this
Oh
is
no,
absolutely
Baba, yeah,
incorrect.
one
You
minute,
cannot
one
say
minute.
that.
Obviously, Walker. Just 1 second, Walker. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Elias.
So where does Quran say that Rasul have ended?
There's a verse that says that Prophet
وخاتم
Muhammad is not.
النبيين ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم ولكن رسول
There
الله
you go. That's why I'm here to
وخاتما
learn from you guys because I'm a junior.
وخاتم النبيين. It doesn't say وخاتم الرسل.
Okay, so then what do we do with the Ahmadiyya claims, brother? They also claiming
That's
Rasul.
fine. You tell me from Quran where is the finality of Rasul?
Okay, so I just no, I'm learning. So I just got to I just got to learn
we'll
this today. I'm learning, mashallah, I'm learning.
Ilyas, check your back channel. 1 second, Fardin. Check your back channel, Ilyas.
So don't bring like Ahmadiyya or anyone. Tell me where is the end of the Rasul in Quran?
No. As I said, I'm just learning. I'm your junior, brother. You guys are very more learned. So I just learned something new. So for me to become Shia, inshallah, I have to have an open mind that
So I've been looking at your rooms, Fardin. So I see that you're actually a Salafi. I'm sorry I called you a Quranist. I understand your deen now. So now that I know your Aqidah and you're trolling right now, we would actually like to have a discussion with you since you were hiding your beliefs. We would like to talk about Tawheed. Are you down, Fardin? Since you're a Salafi. Because the religion is all based on Tawheed. If you don't understand the Tawheed, you're not going to understand anything else. Let's talk about Tawheed.
Okay. I will answer you whether I'm Salafi or not. Can you answer me that your brother is saying, I can't read the Arabic alphabet, whatever his name is, the brother on the third row. He just claimed that yes, the Imam are like we don't have any.
No, I didn't claim that. I didn't.
لا يفرقون بين أحد من رسلهم. He used that verse.
No.
We don't differentiate between Imams and Ibrahim alayhi salam. So Imams are also Rasuls. Do you believe that as well, Hassan? So I just want to,
We need to talk about Tawheed and you'll understand everything. Are you ready?
Brother, I'm not Salafiya. I'm in your room as well.
The most important part of our deen is Tawheed. So even if you're not Salafi, let's talk about Tawheed. We have to fix your Tawheed first. If you have a bad Tawheed, then we can't explain anything.
For me, I think right now following the Imams is the priority because that's the title of the room.
Tawheed is more important.
No, that's the title of the room, bro. Let's stick to the...
No. Don't say stick to the title.
Are Imams Rasuls, Hassan? Yes or no? So I learned from you.
No, they're not. So let's talk about Tawheed.
So why is brother deviating me from becoming a Shia?
He was just showing you that your method of only using Quran is false. That's why he was showing you.
No, you can prove to him what Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah said about the hadith of the 12 Imams, for example. If you want to talk to me,
I don't know Ibn Taymiyyah. I don't care about all these names.
This
the only names I care about. I don't care Ibn Taymiyyah, Falan, Abu Hanifa. I don't care. All I want to know is the Prophet, or is Ahl Bayt, or is Ashab.
I don't think that's important. I think
Hassan's right, though. You have to know Allah before you get to there. Yeah.
Let's start with
Tawheed. But who do I learn? Muhammad saying Ibn Taymiyyah. Why do I learn Tawheed from Ibn Taymiyyah? I should be learning Tawheed from Ahl al-Bayt. Who knows?
I muted you. Listen, bro. Fardin, we're in this room. There's no need to scream and yell, bro. Relax. Relax. Listen.
We said Tawheed and you're panicking, bro.
Listen, Fardin. Listen, the most important thing in religion is Tawheed. Then we can explain Nabuwah to you. Then we'll explain Imama. We'll explain everything to you, and inshallah you'll become a Shia. But the most important thing is Tawheed. So we need to know, we need to teach you Tawheed. Are you ready?
But there is For me, the most important thing is Imams. The 12 Imams are the most important thing
Well,
for
that's
me.
the issue. So you have your priorities not straight. So you don't know
No,
Tawheed, and you
Hassan,
want to
you
talk
don't know
about
Tawheed,
Imams?
Hassan. You don't know Tawheed. You believe
Like,
Allah does not have hands. I believe Allah has hands.
one
He
second,
has two
Muhammad,
heads
Well, the
let
and he
Fardeen,
has
do
three
let's
you
talk to
legs.
believe?
Fardeen first.
Yeah, Muhammad, listen, we're gonna talk to all the Sunnis, but I want to talk to Fardeen first, okay, Muhammad? Okay, so Fardeen, so the question is, do you believe God has hands?
If my Imam says so, yes, not Ibn Taymiyyah or someone
So
else.
Who's your Imam?
No, don't ask him who. What does your Imam say?
Your-
Does your Imam
Yes,
say he has hands?
yeah, from Imam Ali to all the way to the the Imam Mahdi. All if any of these claim, then I listen to them. I don't listen to Tom, Dick, and Harry.
No, I wouldn't listen to 1 minute. I wouldn't listen to them. Nonsense. If they say that, they're wrong.
If they say that Allah has hands, they're wrong. That's what Ilyas wanted to say.
If the Imam say,
1 minute, man.
Go
1 minute.
ahead,
1 minute,
Ilyas,
Hassan.
go ahead.
If God says, if Imam says Jesus became God, would I start following him? No. What are you on about? If he says God has parts,
who
the
knows more?
Imam's
Who
wrong.
knows God more? You or Imam Ali? Salamullah alayha. Who knows God more?
Yeah, aql knows. Nothing can be against aql. If I start believing in logic,
with all
1 minute, man, 1 minute, 1 minute. If I start believing in logical contradictions, then anything can follow, right? I don't care who knows, who doesn't know. If someone says that a logical contradiction can exist in reality, it cannot. Simple.
Then a cow can be God, because my Imam told me.
No, but again, Hamza, who, I didn't call Imam, my Imam, the mosque Imam. I said, my Imam is from the 1st to the
Look,
12th. Now listen, let me finish.
Right.
If I ask Imam Ali Salamullah alayha, if I had the opportunity, obviously I'm not the sand of his feet, but if I did have the opportunity, I would believe whatever he says because he knows God more than I do. Billion times more.
This is shirk. This is
If
shirk.
he says
Astaghfirullah.
if he says there's a contradiction, he says a human can be God, you would follow? You'd follow him? You'd say, yeah.
Do you, you're talking hypothetical, brother. You know Imam Ali Salamullah alayhi wouldn't say that. Why talking hypothetical,
So
bro?
why wouldn't he say that? Why wouldn't he say that?
Because he knew Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala better than all these people in Clubhouse. And the rest of the world right now. And he was,
Look,
obviously,
can logical contradictions exist?
Yeah, what if I have a hadith that's fake and it says Imam, and I don't know it's fake.
Bro, no, we are not even talking about
It says
anything.
that a human
It's a simple question. It's a simple question. Can logical contradictions exist?
No, Imams cannot make mistake.
Whatever. Can logical contradictions exist?
Logical contradictions can exist, but Imam cannot make mistakes, brother. So if Ali says something, I follow it. I don't do aql, I do naql from Imam Ali salamullah alayhi, because he cannot be
Allah
wrong.
exists and doesn't exist at the same time for you, Fardeen. MashaAllah.
I'm saying I learned my religion from my Imams, inshallah.
No, if you believe in contradictions, you haven't learned.
Bro, Hamza.
Bro, he's trolling you.
Why are we entertaining? Bro, he's a Salafi. I already seen his rooms. He's a Salafi. Why are you?
Because I think he does believe in contradictions.
No, bro, the guy believes God has a foot. He has eyes. He has two right
that's
hands.
a contradiction.
I know it's a contradiction. He's
believes
just trolling. He doesn't believe in the Tawheed of Imam
Yeah,
Ali.
I know that part, but I want to point out that he does believe, when he says contradictions do exist, I think he's telling the truth. That's what he believes.
But don't entertain his lies, bro. The guy's a Salafi.
Yeah, but no, I'm not.
That's
brother,
our job.
why are you accusing me, bro?
Taqiyya is for the Shia.
Bros.
Stop. Go ahead, Ilyas. I'm sorry, Habibi.
No, this guy's an idiot.
Taqiyya is only for Shia, bro. Don't say that, bro.
I don't know what you guys are doing with this guy.
I'm about to kick him down if he doesn't start talking for real. Fardeen, you have a logical contradiction in your beliefs. Your belief in God is very bad. You're a Salafi. It's very bad. We want to fix that before we talk about Imama. Inshallah, once you understand Tawheed, we can go to Imama.
I'm not Salafi, but actually, if the meaning of Salafi is following a Salaf, then yes, I do follow my Aslaf, Imam Ali Salamullah alayha.
Okay, he's done. Then Muhammad Rafid, you can go ahead, bro. That guy's an idiot.
I don't know why you guys are talking about this. That talk about logical contradictions.
The guy,
It's very simple.
He's trolling, Ilyas. He's trolling.
Whatever he is trolling, you ought to remain on the point, which is whether you believe in logical contradictions or not. The rest of the person, he can say, well, I will take him up, whatever. No, the point remains the same. We don't believe in logical contradictions. It's as simple as that.
I want to see because he said he does. I just want to verify it.
Okay.
No, man, the guy's talking.
1 second, I want to verify. Maybe he's lying. Then he's a liar, Hassan. That's fine.
I invited him up.
I invited him up too. Come up, yeah, logical. Fardeen, do you believe in logical? Do you believe squared circles exist? Don't make me look bad. I've been vouching for you up here.
Brother, I've been mistreated by, they put me down, so I'm not gonna entertain my own dalala anymore. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaik.
Hassan's been waiting weeks to use that on someone.
The guy's a waste of time, bro. The guy's doing taqiyya 101. Like, this guy can do a college class on taqiyya. Muhammad Rafid, you can go ahead and ask your questions.
Yeah, how do you prove you have 12 Imams?
This guy missed the hour before.
The room is on replay. You can go back and watch it. But I'll give you a rundown, like a 1 minute reply. So what we did is we brought a collective of all the hadiths about 12 Imams from people outside of the Shias and within the Shia. So we got, for example, for the Shias before the Imam Mahdi, before Imam Hassan Askari, we showed that there was hadiths that showed that there will be 12 Imams. We brought from Musannaf ibn Abi Shayba, which is before Imam Mahdi as well, one of the earliest books, from Bukhari, from Muslim, talking about 12 Khalifas. Then we got Ismaili text that's even after the Ghaibah. He also narrated this hadith about 12 Imams being from the family of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wa alihi. Then there was the book of Kitab al-Usus from Tughulat, which was around the time of Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi salam, who also talked about the 12 Imams. So within all these religions, there was this understanding, or at least hadith going around, that there will be 12 Imams, 12 Khalifas. That's like the rundown of it.
So how do you prove Usus was a book from the time of Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq? Has it been dated?
Yeah. I dated it. Here, let me bring you where it's from. Go ahead.
I mean, academia says that that's who the book is attributed to. I don't understand.
Academia is not a person. Who is the name of the person? Which academic?
It's an No, obviously it's not a person. It's an institution.
So which institution?
Based on historical facts, based on all kinds of guidelines to see what books are dated by. If you want to make that claim, then we can just say any book is written by anybody at any time. And even if you date it, I don't understand what does that really do? But put it in a certain date, a range of dates. It could be 50 to 100 years of the range. So I don't understand how that helps you.
So what if you're told that this records are actually forgeries and they were actually forged after the Ghaibah?
Well, you'd have to prove that.
No, you say you have 12 Imams and you have manuscripts. So prove your manuscripts are original, they are authentic.
Yeah, so we just prove the authenticity of the manuscripts and who it's written by, right?
Yeah,
and if you don't have counter,
you have to give me proof, because if you give me, for example, if I am a follower of his eminence, like the 49th Imam of the Aga Khanis, how are you going to prove to me that you have 12 Imams and this is not a forgery? That's number one. If I believe in a different list, like the Sunnis of 12 Imams, I believe Abu Bakr and Umar are. How are you going to prove to me that those particular Imams that you follow, they are the ones being referred to by the Prophet?
Sorry, can you repeat your question?
I said, if I follow His Eminence, the 49th Imam, the Prince, the Shah, Aga Khan, How are you going to prove to me that you have hadith that is authentic about 12 Imams? And
Okay.
how will you prove to me the manuscripts are dated and they are before the Ghaibah? And also, even if you can prove this to me, that it is actually authentic, the manuscripts are dated and original, then how can you prove to me that this list of 12 Imams, they do not include Abu Bakr and Sayyidina Umar and Sayyidina Usman and Muawiyah and Yazid? So how do you prove that your list is the original list?
Well, first we'd have to establish that there is 12, right? And it was proven before the birth of the 12th Imam.
So Muhammad, the whole point of proving the 12 Imams was not by name. That's not what the proof was about. It was proving the idea of the 12 Imams. So once we proved the books are, say, predated before the Ghaibah, etc., and they're talking about the 12 Imams, and even after, if there's people that have incentives to forge it and don't forge it and talk about 12 Imams as well, the fact is the only people that align with this hadith and with this prophecy are the Shia, the Ithna Ashari Shia, to
There's
be
one
exact.
group of people, yeah.
Because
This
even
is
if
an
you
assumption.
prove,
This is an assumption.
Muhammad Rafid, because even if you prove that you make your own list, who's your list? You put Yazid in your list
Yes,
of 12
Why not?
Khalifas?
He conquered Cyprus.
You're getting kicked off the stage, buddy.
But he
He
conquered Cyprus.
He burnt 3 of the 4 walls of the Kaaba, yeah? Okay.
Who else? Who else was?
Who else you
Who
want to put?
else you want to put on the list?
Salah ad-Din?
The Shias, you can't answer my questions.
But there was more than 12 Khalifas.
You stopped at
Yes,
5.
but you can make a list. You can make a list of 12 Sunni Khalifas. Why not?
Yeah, but you're making up your own list.
Are they from?
So how come you have a list? And sometimes also, for example, there's the objection that
you added Yazid to your list.
Well, because he conquered Cyprus, and there's a hadith that Rasulullah did dua for the people who conquer Cyprus.
Wahdat, are you still there? Oh, he probably fell asleep.
Yeah, I don't know. This all sounds very Majusi.
Yeah.
I think you have a Shia Sheikh in the audience. Can he answer my questions? Can you bring him up? There's Sheikh Amir in the audience. Let's see if Sheikh Amir can answer, because you people cannot answer my questions.
Yeah, so even the Sunnis don't agree that Yazid was good, so I don't know. Are you saying the 12 Khalifas can also be evil?
No, they are not evil. What do you mean evil?
Bro, I need to find Sunnis that say Yazid is good.
Do you want to accuse Yazid of killing Imam Hussein? Imam Hussein did not die in Karbala.
Okay.
So how are you going to answer that? Answer me.
What, that he didn't die in Karbala?
Yes, he did jihad in order to conquer.
I went to his grave. I went to his grave about 6 months ago, and I prayed at his grave. I asked him to help me.
It does not matter, because you don't. This is a grave. How do you know who is inside? So
I felt it. I felt it with my heart.
Oh, this is even the Sufi has something in his heart when he visits a grave.
Yeah, they visit Imam Hussein as well.
No, but you're not answering my questions.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh Amir. Ahwal shuma.
Salaam alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So, Sheikh, I have questions, Sheikh.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
I am talking to you as a Sunni. And I have a question for you as Shia. How you prove to me that the 12 Imams actually appeared in Hadith before the Ghaibah and not after the Ghaibah? Because there is the accusation that the Hadith of 12 Imams were invented after the Ghaibah by Sheikh al-Kulaini, Sheikh al-Saduq, and other of the shuyukh of the Shias. So how will you prove to me that the hadith that you have about 12 Imams, they are before Ghaibah and not forgery after Ghaibah?
I
Here,
imagine
I'm
that
about to show you. I just pinned up a hadith right here. You
No,
can do your research. Look up the
you
book.
had your
Stop,
chance.
stop,
Let
stop,
Sheikh answer me.
stop. This I'm gonna let Sheikh answer me. Answer as well. This hadith that's
Well,
pinned up.
I think you should not just end the room. So there would be one way where all the arguments would be there, if you agree with that,
Yeah,
and make another one.
yeah, that's a good point because you did put all the arguments in the beginning. What do you think, Muhammad?
You mean the evidence we're given earlier before
Yeah,
now?
yeah.
Oh, no problem. I will listen to the room.
Okay, but Sheikh Amir, if you wanted to respond to him real quick, go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off, Sheikh.
No problem. Matthew, can you translate his question again? I realized that Muhammad said that why 12 Imam before Ghaibah, huh? Matthew, can you translate his question?
میپرسه که از جهت تاریخی چجوری میتونید ثابت بکنید که این ایده 12 امام قبل از غیبت ثابت شده در کتاب‌های تاریخ قبل از زمان غیبت.
قبل از غیبت که الان ما تو غیبتیم. قبل از غیبت یعنی زمان پیامبر مثلا
مثلا
منظورتونه؟
زمان امام ها، امام ششم، امام هفتم مثلا.
Muhammad, is that really your question? I thought that you are before we had a discussion and you as a Shia we discussed with each other. Is that really your question right now?
Yeah, here I'm asking you, Sheikh. I'm asking you as a Sunni or as a Zaidi or as a Ismaili. So I want you to answer me as a Shi'i that the hadith you have about 12 Imams, the manuscripts, this is before Ghaibah and it's not after Ghaibah.
There is some narrations before that, you know. It's a very even you know the background of all of narration they somehow related to this concept in that the Imams during of Imams people Shia people wondering that is that Qa'im or they were asking about 12 Imam. They were asking about Imam. You wanted to mention about other sources, for example, in Sunni sources or like what? In
Both sources, Sunni and Shias.
Sheikh Amir or Muhammad Rafid, I mean, and I'm not cutting you. You guys can have the convo, inshallah. But we did put all the sources from all the books before as well in the room, and this room was supposed to be like a room to prove the 12 Imams. So we don't ruin the what's it called, like make it too long. Can we end the room, and then we'll open up another room, inshallah, and talk about it?
One more question to the Sheikh. I will listen to the room, inshallah, and I will check the evidence that you give, and I hope you give good evidence. So I have another question. There is a saying among Sunnis that Yazid did not kill Imam Hussein, that Imam Hussein went to do jihad in Cyprus or in Turkey, and he wasn't killed in Karbala. This is an allegation that exists. How will you respond to it?
Muhammad, in terms of your method if you are asking these questions to achieve to the in fact and reality, this method I have issue with that. Maybe you say that I just have these questions to knowing some information. Or, okay, it's not problem. You can The last question is a historical project. You can investigate about the answer about Karbala. But if you wanted to realize the fact and realize the truth, your question is it's like this: a person who is sorry, due respect to you, close their eyes, his eyes, and say that prove me to the right now is today. It's like that, because when we speak about Imam Hussein, speak about 12 Imam, all of these facts is very obvious during history, during prophet, even in prophet time. And in terms of our logic, it is impossible that God leave alone the nation of prophet without any guide, without any imam. لكل قوم هاد. In terms of, I want to say that in terms of Holy Quran concept, it is my method to achieving to truth and reality. But your question, if you wanted to looking for more information, that's fine. You can search about the sources of 12 Imam or the Karbala events. You can search it and get your favorite information.
Thank you, Jazakallah, Sheikh Amir. Thank you so much.
So I think the brothers already pinned the references, I was told. Like they gave the Musannaf of Ibn Abi Shayba, which contains the hadith of the 12 Imams. Sheikh, I'm not a Sunni, so don't be scared. You're not talking to a confused person. I'm not a Bakri. I'm only asking this question so that we can have answers. And these are actually, even they maybe you say, like somebody who is asking, it's today, about today, whether today is today. Yeah, this is true, but these questions come up, like for example, the issue of Imam Hussein. They don't even care about the historical fact, whether he has a grave somewhere. You have come across Salafis who will tell you, no, he didn't die in Karbala. That, he did Hijrah and he went to Cyprus and, just in a way, in order to cover up. Of course, this can be proven historically false. There is no evidence. First of all, if you have to make the claim that Imam Hussein did Hijrah and he went to Cyprus, there is no such, لا مرة. There is no such evidence that Imam Hussein did any hijrah to Cyprus, or he fought, or he was killed there, or he was based there. No. All the evidence in historical Muslim records point to the fact that he was actually killed in Karbala. That's number one. In regards to the hadith of the 12 Imams, now, in Sunni sources, there are at least three Ghaibah sources. Aside, even if you don't want to take the hadith of Jabir ibn Samurra, there are other three chains which prove that there was a prophecy in Muslim books about the presence of 12 Imams after the Prophet, or 12 Caliphs, or 12 successors, or 12 Amirs. This is found in Sunni books. These are not forgeries. The Shia did not forge these hadiths in Sunni books. And of course, in the Shia books, we have, a plethora of evidences even before the Ghaibah, which it's not necessary that everybody knew of this for certain reasons which can be, explained. But we do have, like for example, if you go to the records of the companions, to the usuls of the companions, you will find certain records, which I believe the brothers have already pinned, whereby the hadith of the 12 Imams, or the 12 Caliphs, or the 12 successors, or the 12 Umara, they were actually found.
Damn, somebody was slamming the door. Yeah, I pinned one of them up here. This person that wrote this book died before the death of Imam Hassan al-Askari alayhi salam. and it does name the 12 Imams as well. So there was this idea of 12 Imams as well. With that being said, I'm gonna end the room, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wa alaikum assalam. Hassan, Nizam maybe has a question.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Nizam.
There was a small question because this guy said in there is showing the Quran, it's talking about 12 Imams, before their birth. Can you asking them which ayat is that? Which ayat is that? Okay, I tell you. Allah said, I tell you, عالم الغيب فلا يظهر على غيبه أحدا. Allah only knew about the Ghaibah before someone is birth, But who is still that ayah?
Nizam, don't read the ayah halfway. Don't read the ayah halfway. Continue the ayah.
عالم الغيب فلا يظهر على غيبه أحدا.
Tayyib, is that the only verse? I think this is another verse. Is that the only verse that exists about this?
Sorry, can you repeat again?
Is this the only verse that exists about Allah not showing the Ghaibah
Brother,
to anyone?
Allah. No. Do you know what is the meaning of that one? Allah not give. You don't know anything about your children, about your grandchildren. Just only Allah know that one. The meaning is like that to make it easier for you. Okay, brother?
So in the other verse in Surah Al-Jinn, it says, وَلَا يُظْهِرُ عَلَى الْغَيْبِ أَحَدًا إِلَّا مَنِ
غيبي
ارْتَضَى
أحدا من رسول فإنه يسلك من بين يديه ومن خلفه رصدا.
Tayyib, so what are you complaining about? If you know this verse, what are you complaining about?
Brother, they tell you about 12 Imam, they're showing there the Quran become their 12 Khalifa.
Nizam,
How to
brother
yeah,
Nizam, brother
okay.
Nizam.
Yeah.
I don't know what sect you follow or what Aqidah you follow or etc.
No,
But nobody.
I'm Hanafi.
No problem. No problem. So
okay,
nobody.
Hanafi, I tell you directly, This
Thank
four
you so
Imam.
much.
What's your point? What's your point of making that statement?
My point, brother, in there one point for our Shia brother, for all of Shia brother. And their point is they are following the 12 Imam. They said their Imam is Ma'soom. You know that? What's the
Yeah,
meaning
okay,
of Ma'soom?
Nizam, before you carry on,
Class.
Muhammad, let me
The other
answer it
question.
quickly because
Okay.
I do want to end the room. We'll open another room, inshallah, Nizam, and we can have a good, fruitful conversation.
Yeah,
but I'll answer your...
Let him follow us.
Inshallah.
And then
I speaking same
we
language
will come
like
to another room. Let's move to another room. This is not the room for this discussion.
Okay. Exactly. Nizam, I'm going to follow you. Follow me back. We're about to open a room right now.
Inshallah.
Okay? And I'll send you an invite, inshallah. Follow me back.
No,
and I'll answer your question, inshallah.
Yes, I'm in airport. Then I have to before I fly.
Okay. I'll answer the question real quick. Right now. And I'm going to end the room. So nobody... I muted you because your mic is a little loud. Nobody made the claim that the 12 Imams are named inside the Quran. If somebody said that, they were mistaken because that's not what we believe. We are not Quranists. We don't only believe in the Quran. But what we can prove from the Quran is the concept of imamah, the concept of divinely appointed leaders. And we can prove that through the Quran. But the details of the imamah, we believe is in the Sunnah. Now, likewise, like Salah is in the Quran, but the details are in the Sunnah. The zakat is in the Quran, it's outlined, right? The concept of zakat, but the details are in the Sunnah. The Hajj is in the Quran, but the details are in the Sunnah. All these things, right? The Rak'atain al-Fajr, all the stuff is in the Sunnah, but the concept of it is in the Quran. Likewise, we hold the belief that the imamah, divinely appointed leaders, is in the Quran, the concept. And we can prove this, and we've done it many times, inshallah. And if you would like to see the proof, we can show you it in the other room, inshallah. But nobody made the claim that the 12 Imams are named within the Quran. I hope that answered your question. I'm going to go ahead and end the room, inshallah, and we'll open another room.
Hassan, are you opening the room? I think you should open
the room. Yeah, I will. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.